Well, hey guys, good evening and welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. I'm so glad that you are with me here today on Inspirations for Your Life. I hope you guys are having a fantastic, um, weekend. And again, we have a fantastic show for you that I definitely want to get off the ground and share with you guys. It's been a very, very amazing, how can I say, week and Thanksgiving and everything. And this, if you're first time here, I want to say thank you for coming here. And if you've coming back, I want to say welcome back and thank you so much for being here and coming back. I really do appreciate all of you guys that enjoy the content and keep wanting to share this great information. So thank you very much for being here. You as well. So if you are new or not, we have something called believemeachieve.com. Feel free to check that out. And yeah, you can check out my short form content, my long form content, reels, articles, and much more. So go ahead and check that out when you get an opportunity. If you're thirsty, feel free to get yourself a water, a snack, a beverage, and come on back and get comfortable, and we'll start the show, right? So, designing your week, and your week will design your momentum. So, this is John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. I'm an engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, graduate student, and a passionate lifelong learner. And tonight on Inspirations for Your Life, we're turning your next 7 days from random to intentional. I also progress with starting to feel inevitable, not accidental. Why does this matter so much? Well, people who decide in advance where, when, and how they act are far more likely to follow through because detailed plans turn your vague wishes into concrete actions your brain can execute. And time blocking and deep work scheduling don't just organize your calendar, they protect your focus, beat distractions, and slash that constant, what should I do next? Decision fatigue. Yes, you know the one. Things that quietly drain your energy every single day. Every tip you're about to hear is designed to reduce friction, increase clarity, and build momentum because, well, once you're in motion, staying in motion takes dramatically less effort. I don't know if you know that. So as you listen or watch and imagine yourself actually doing these, because after this show, the challenge is to pick a handful and, implement these things. I'm not saying you're going to do them all tonight. Pick one theme, a word for the week, and choose a single word like focus, courage, or finish. That sets the tone for everything. Put it at the top of your calendar or on a sticky note where you'll see it every day so it becomes your mental filter. If something doesn't support that theme, it's easier to say no, right? Choose your top 3 outcomes, not tasks. Instead of listing 50 to dos, ask by Friday what 3 outcomes would make this a winning week for me. Outcomes could be launch the landing page, have 3 meaningful conversations, or finish chapter 3. And when your brain is outcome focused, it naturally prioritizes high impact actions. So block time for your number 1 project. Open your calendar and lock in non negotiable time for your single most important project. Treat it like a doctor's appointment with yourself that you don't move without a serious reason. Because time blocking like this is one of the most reliable ways to ensure deep, meaningful progress. Schedule one deep work session daily. Pick your best focus time, early morning, late evening, whenever you feel sharp, and carve out, 60 to 90 minutes of distraction-free deep work time each day. No notifications on, no emails to bother you, no social media to scroll through, because deep work time is where breakthroughs and your highest quality output actually transpire and will happen. Protect one evening for recharge. Choose one night this week that is a genuine, quote unquote, no obligation evening. No work, no heavy social commitments, just rest and reset. Weekly planning research shows that routines with built in recovery are more sustainable and prevent burnout for better than grind only schedules. Plan one fun thing midweek. Don't let life happen on the weekend. And add one fun activity on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. A walk, a favorite show, a hobby, session, or coffee with a friend. Because scheduled joy keeps your energy up and helps you stick with your plans longer than you would have imagined. Pre-plan simple meals to reduce decision fatigue. Decision fatigue is real. Your brain only has so many high quality decisions in it per day. Pre-deciding simple things like breakfasts, lunches, or dinners for busy days frees up mental energy for more important choices. And even, quote unquote, a default meal can make mornings and evenings smoother. Lay out clothes for Monday by choosing your Monday outfit before you sleep. You start the week with one less decision and a little more momentum. People who pre-plan outfits often report feeling calmer and more focused as they head out the door. Choose one habit to focus on all week instead of trying to change everything, reinventing the wheel in 7 days. Pick one habit. 10 pages of reading, maybe, right? To 10 minutes of movement or no phone at breakfast. Habit stacking, attaching a new habit to something you already do, creates momentum that compounds over time. Celebrate 3 things you've done great today before you go to bed. Remove one non-essential commitment and look at your week and ask, what can I gracefully cancel, delay, or delegate? Momentum isn't only about doing more, it's about removing drag, and freeing up even 1 hour can unlock space for deep work, rest, or learning. Plan 10 minutes of learning per day. Learning keeps you sharp and motivated. Block just 10 minutes a day for reading a quick course or a podcast, or 30 minutes like mine, that stretches your thinking. Because over a year, this adds up to serious self-education hours. Book one connection call or coffee. Schedule one conversation on this week with someone who inspires you, challenges, and helps you support your goals. Connections often become the source of new ideas, accountability, and opportunities you never see coming. Set a bedtime alarm, not just a wake alarm. Most people guard their wake up time, but let bedtime drift. Set an alarm that says begin shutdown, because consistent sleep routines are one of the biggest performance and productivity boosters you can give yourself. Get into that habit and you'll start to realize your body's going to treat you better. Decide your no work cutoff time. Pick a time when all work stops. No more, just one more email. This boundary tells your brain, your family, and your calendar that your life is bigger than your inbox. And clear cutoffs, reduce burnout, and sharpen your focus during work hours. Now, I know there may be exceptions to this, like you're going on a trip, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to do all this stuff. And I get that. But for the 99.9% of the time, you should stick to this. Create a short morning launch routine. Design a simple 5 to 10-minute routine. Maybe drink water, stretch, say one affirmation, and review your top 3 outcomes. A consistent launch sequence signals your brain, that's it, go time, and it makes starting your day far easier than you thought ever could be. Create a short evening shutdown ritual. Before bed, close your loops. Review what you did. Move unfinished tasks and jot down your top priorities for tomorrow. Now, this tiny nightly reset keeps you out of quote unquote mental tab overload and usually improves sleep quality. I know I try to start planning my shutdown routine. So if I want to get to bed by 10, I'm trying to plan my shutdown routine by 8 or 9. That I'll usually be in bed by 9 something, but I don't want to be out more than 10 o'clock. I want to be in bed and sleeping by that time. Set a social media time limit. Unbounded scrolling quietly steals hours and attention. I've mentioned this before. Decide in advance how many minutes you'll spend on social platforms each day and honor that limit as a commitment to your focus and mental health. Now, if you're doing this for business, which is what we do, obviously you got to put more time into it. But if you're just doing this for social fun, then you got to cut it. Like one of my companies does social media. So we're always on social media, but there's a different reason we're on it. We're on it as a business. Put one visual reminder of your goal where you see it, your environment. And by that happening, it'll either nudge you or, well, numb you. Put a sticky note, printed, quote, or imagine putting an image tied to your main weekly goal. Somewhere you can't miss it. Mirror, monitor, or the fridge. So your intentions stay in sight and in mind. Decide in advance how you'll handle stress. Stress will show up, so give yourself a default response. Now, a 5-minute walk, breathing, exercise, or even quick journaling. Having a pre-decided pattern helps you respond instead of reacting when pressure hits. Write one sentence about who you're becoming, not just what you're doing, but who you're becoming. Like, I'm becoming someone who keeps promises to myself. Identity-based statements make habits stick because they align behavior with your core sense of values in yourself. Choose your quote-unquote win criteria for the week. Finish this sentence. This week is a win if I blank. It's completing your 3 outcomes: protecting your energy or keeping one key habit every day. And clear win criteria stop you from moving the goalposts. Plan one act of kindness midweek. Design your week to lift others, not just yourself. Plan one act of kindness, a message, a small favor, or a thank you, because giving boosts your own mood and reminds you your momentum can impact more than your own life. That's an important one, guys. But I think a lot of people, they don't think about how they can help others. They just think about what they can do for themselves. Now, that's selfishness, right? And that's actually a bad thing. But some people are brought up like that. Set a small reward for Friday if you follow your plan. Pick a simple reward. You'll give yourself Friday if you stick to your design: a dessert, a movie, a night or extra hobby time. Rewards help your brain associate planning and follow through with something positive and enjoyable. Prep your workspace for Monday before you wrap up Sunday. Reset your workspace, clear clutter, lay out materials for your most important project, and leave a note telling Monday you exactly where to start. A ready environment lowers resistance and makes it much easier to dive into deep work on time. So I use something simple where I just write everything down on a piece of paper, and I have that done the day before. So I know tomorrow what I need to do. What I'm adding to my sheet now is what's a win for me this week. When I do this, I've won this week. Those are important things. Decide what you will not chase this week. Clarity also means limits. Decide what you're not chasing this week. No new side projects, no extra committees, no comparison scrolling. So your real priorities actually have room to move forward. Schedule movement into the calendar. Motion fuels mindset. Remember that. Add walking, stretching, or workouts into your calendar, like appointments, because movement improves mood, focus, and resilience, and helps you maintain momentum even when things get hard. Make a later list for non-urgent ideas. Instead of letting every new idea hijack your plan, capture it on a later list, okay? This keeps your creativity alive without letting shiny objects derail your focus on what matters this week. Share your main goal with someone supportive. Tell one supportive person your main goal for the week and ask them to check in with you. I know you might be saying, well, John, I don't know who to check in. If you don't know, if this is the person you trust, then that's not the person you should be checking in with. All right. That's just a quick 2 cents there. People who choose to share specific goals and have check-ins are more likely to follow through than those who keep everything to themselves. Commit to review your week. Next Friday, right now, schedule a 10-minute review next Friday. Ask, what worked this week? What didn't work? What do I want to repeat or change this week? Weekly reflection turns experience into insight and is a cornerstone of any momentum system. So get comfortable with this. Remember I said you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable? Go to sleep knowing your week is designed not randomly. When you've done even a handful of these things I've imagined to you and I've shared, you can go to bed with confidence instead of just hope. You're not leaving your week to chance. You've laid down rails so your energy and actions flow toward the life you actually want to build. I think when we start to embrace our life and we start to understand that, we actually have control in our life, guys. We have a lot more control than you probably imagined. All right. And I say this to you because many people don't have control. All right. And the reason they do that is because they get so blown out of the way. Like they just don't know what to do. And, we've all been in those situations where like we don't know what to say or what to do. But the truth of the matter is you do know what to do. You absolutely know what to do. And so if you know what to do, then you've got to practice it over and over again. And when you practice it over and over again, you know what happens? Your body's like, oh, like he knows what he's doing. I know I better pay attention. Like he's got the idea. Designing your week is important. People say plan your week. I like to say design your week because designing your week is more creative. Planning is like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get up. Designing your week is like, you can kind of like add this and add that. And then you can review it. When you say I'm going to plan my week, it seems like it's very solid, right? Designing says you can kind of creatively put what you want. I mean, when's the last time you planned something in your life? I mean, that's what I want to ask you. When's the last time? Was it yesterday? Was it last week? Let's take Thanksgiving for a moment, okay? How many of you had plans for Thanksgiving? Okay, I visited family. Maybe you guys visited family too, or you visited friends, or you did something else, right? But what is it you did? I think one of the most important things is knowing that you planned. Like when I was leaving for vacation last Saturday, there was a lot getting put on the burners to complete. The schedule seemed to get so crazy on me, like immediately. And I wasn't sure what to do. Okay. I know that I had to just relax. I had to write down the important things and I crossed them off as I got them. And you know what? I got through every single one. I think there was one thing I still had to do, and I got that done when I was at the airport. Making time to rest is important. Making time to meditate is important. When you tell your body, look, enough is enough, right? Your body says, okay, all right, you're not fooling around. You mean business. But too many people are like, oh, you know what? Oh, this is my friend. This is my boyfriend. This is my girlfriend. Oh, I have to do it for this. You can't make exceptions. When you make exceptions, you tell the universe and you tell your mind, you know what? I'm not that important. People are more important. No, you are important. Respect yourself. Yes, respect others, but respect yourself, because if you don't respect yourself, you know what happens? People walk on you. I had this happen last week. It was getting a little crazy. And there was a client, and I was going to a meeting outside the office at a mutual third party place for it was kind of like an in-service. It was a coaching. And so I went there to basically help the client understand some information. And when I left, I said, okay, that'll be 2 hours. The person says to me, I didn't realize you're charging me for this. And I said, well, I don't work for free. And sometimes you can have a communication breakdown, right? Nobody's perfect. So what I like to say is put everything in writing. If you're doing something and there's a concern like, hey, you know, I'm meeting you tomorrow. I just want to let you know you're being charged for this. I should have done that. Things were just getting away from me so quickly. But I was able to get everything done that I needed. And the same thing happened with today. So today and yesterday was so crazy when I got back. I was baking. But then we even had some challenges in baking. Like I love doing culinary, and I've done it for years. But, you know, when there's something wrong with the ingredients, there's something wrong with the ingredients. And at like 10 o'clock at night, I'm like, well, gee, why are the cookies flat? I'm looking at things. I'm trying to look, everything's fresh. I'm like, oh, the baking soda expired. So now I make sure that I date things so that doesn't happen again. So that mishap became a lesson for me. A very timely, expensive lesson of a few hours. But now I've learned that you've got to check things and you got to make sure dates are correct. Not just because you want to save a few pennies to not throw something out. When you save something and it's bad, well, you could have a bad product. And so I had to work double time. Okay, no joke. I had to work double time to redo what I needed yesterday, Saturday. Because on Friday, I had all these oatmeal cookies and they were all flat. And then not only did I have to do that, I had to then bake another cookie yesterday. Okay? I baked chocolate chip yesterday. Then I also did 3 batches of dough before that and put that in the fridge for overnight. And so it's about planning, but it's also about taking breaks, right? I think these are really important things to understand, and hopefully they'll mean something to you, right? Hopefully. I'm not saying they're going to mean something immediately, but I think when you plan something, you look, oh, wait a minute, I should have done this, or wait a minute, I should have done it this way. When you see something on paper, it makes it more real instead of, not that you're living a phony life, but when you put something on paper, it's like the real deal, right? When it's not on paper, it's like, well, it could happen, it may not happen. But when you have something signed or something on paper, that's pretty much like taken for granted, right? That it's going to happen, or you got to get that done. And I think sometimes people, they have a tendency of adjusting their goalposts, not because they want to, but they feel they have to because they haven't been living up to the commitments that they've given themselves. When you do that, you show the universe that you are not somebody of high value. Okay? That's very important to realize. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching or listening the ever popular Inspirations for Your Life show with myself, John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, graduate student, and a passionate lifelong learner, guiding you through designing your week like a pro. As part of our master topic, Motion Mindset, 7 days to build unshakable momentum. Tonight's challenge is simple. Don't try all 30 of these ideas tonight. Pick 5. Implement a couple of them before you go to sleep. And tomorrow, live like someone whose week was designed on purpose, on design, because your best life doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design, one intentional week at a time. When we fail to plan, we plan to fail. Have a great one, everyone, and be well.